I went all the way to Oregon just to see this trailer. The Classica looks like a vintage fiberglass camper from the 70s, but it's actually brand new. What caught my attention is that it costs about the same as many modern teardrop trailers, weighs less than most of them, yet you can stand up inside. And while it's new, it's not entirely new. It's a time-tested design brought back into production with a few modern updates. Classica didn't pay for this review, but they did let me take the trailer out for a week while I filmed this Oregon series. That gave me 7 full days to learn its strengths and weaknesses. So stick around for my pros and cons at the end. And as usual, a big thanks to eTrailer for supporting the channel. Their support helps cover the miles and allows me to keep producing independent reviews like this one.
A few years ago, we actually started remodeling vintage trailers. Our first ones were stick-built ones, and we noticed that there was so much rot in them. We came across our first bowler from the 70s, actually, and we found out that because it was fiberglass, there was no rot, there was no cracks in it, and we were so surprised of how durable they were.
Yeah, I mean, it was 50 years old, and the fiberglass shell was still in perfect condition. So we learned that fiberglass is the way to go. It's super lightweight, it's super durable. I wouldn't say bomb-proof, but maybe Pacific Northwest proof, yeah.
Yeah, so what you see, it might look like seams, but this is just trim to bring out the vintage vibe and the lines into it, because everything is all one big shell, including the bottom. The bottom is fiberglass as well. So that's for those Oregon downpours or Seattle, that you could be driving through the rain and you don't have to worry about water going underneath and starting to rot your floor.
The whole thing we designed to be simple on purpose. We want it to be low maintenance. We want it to be simple so that you can just focus on camping. You can focus on the place that you're in and not worried about gadgets breaking, different things that need maintenance, repair.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why we don't have a TV. That's why we don't have a bathroom. And we do have high tech, but the technology is hidden in such a way that it doesn't become a distraction while you're out here. We designed it to be off-grid. The way that we did it was we included in the front compartment, we have a Goal Zero power center, 1500 amp hours. You can connect your solar to it. You can connect it to shore power, and this will power your camper for the weekend for sure. But if you have solar panels, technically it could go indefinitely if you have good weather. One of my favorite things about our design is our windows. Not only are they double pane, but also there's so many of them that make the inside feel very big. Another feature that I really like about our camper is our jock wheel, which is oversized and it's rubber, it's not plastic, and it allows a smaller person like me to be able to move the whole camper even with one hand.
I personally do not like backing up trailers. I don't have much practice with it, so I could literally just pull it up here, unhitch it, and then just wheel it into place. And you can like turn it 360. And then another feature that I like is the stabilizers. They're great because they make the whole thing perfectly stable. Like, you know, it feels very solid when you're in there. But I actually really like that the way you put them down is just with like a hand crank. And that just feels, camping is all about slowing down, right? And just taking your time, being present, and the whole like idea of just cranking it with a hand crank, it feels very vintage. And I personally really like it. There's no like motor whirring or button to push. You just crank it by hand. Okay, this is one of the coolest parts of the camper. It's what makes the small space feel really big, is that the front and the back windows completely open. It makes it feel so spacious and airy inside. And also, it's cool that you can actually like access the inside from the outside through the windows. So we'll have like food or drinks on the tables, on one of the back or front tables, and you can just, you know, serve out of the windows, which is pretty cool. Of course, you can put the screen up if you want to keep the bugs out.
I love the size of the windows because they allow you to see through while you're driving. You can see through the camper, see the traffic, or if you want to back up, you're less worried about hitting something. So coming around this way, you get to see our axles. We are running torsion axles that are made in Germany. If you've had a vintage trailer, you know that you have to repack your bearings quite often. And we chose to go with closed bearings that can be swapped out in about 15 minutes if you have the right tools. They're rated for 100,000 kilometers, so maybe roughly 60,000 miles. Again, simple, low maintenance approach to bearing and maintenance for your camper.
So something that is really important to me, and I know it's important to a lot of people out there, is to have a beautiful camper, but not loud and not flashy, but just simple and beautiful. Actually, a fun feature, a hummingbird is our family bird. I mean, it's really special to us. So these are actually hummingbird wings. And then we have 4 daughters. So there's 4 feathers for our 4 daughters. Vintage is the inspiration. We wanted it to look like it was from a time of the past. You know, there's little details like the teardrop marker lights, just the shape in general, the muted, peaceful colors, just to add to the beauty of your camping experience. And so this is actually a mold from the 70s. The fiberglass mold is 50 years old, so this actually is a vintage shape. It was made in the 70s, and we've just revived it and put our spin on it.
And because it's an older mold, we know it stood the test of time, right?
Yep, it stood the test of time. It's been tested. We know it works. People have used it for many years, and we just wanted to revive it and bring it to this side of the ocean, or this side of the ocean.
That'd be right.
Yeah.
This side of the pond.
Of the pond. We've got these really fun, oversized brake lights. We actually have had a lot of people tell us that it reminds them of almost like a VW Bug. Again, at all angles, we just wanted it to look cute and vintage in the best kind of way.
So our pop top gives you a lot of room on the interior. So we're gonna speak a little bit more about it when we're inside, but just from here you can see that there's a lot of room, and actually a 6'1" person can stand in there comfortably.
And with the pop top closed, the camper from ground to the top of the pop top with it closed is 7 foot 3 inches. So it can fit in garages with 8-foot doors.
And garages with 12-foot doors.
And garages with 12-foot doors, yeah. So we have a standard 7-foot garage, like it does no more than 7 feet in that opening. So what he actually does when we're done camping for the season, he literally just takes off the wheels and we put it on dollies and roll it into our garage. And if you do have a little extra clearance, you're 7 foot and a few inches, you can just air down the tires, and that might give you enough space to get it in.
We included a heater rail right in the front of the camper, so you can easily take an awning and slide it in and put it wherever you want. So if you have rain and it's coming from up top, you put it, you center it right here. Or if you have sun right in your face and you want to just enjoy your lunch or your afternoon, you can scoot it all the way down as you please. So because we wanted our chassis to last as long as our shell, we went galvanized, and that will add a lot of life to the entire structure of the camper because it'll resist rust really, really well. We're about to show you the interior, and one of my favorite things, Jackie can tell you, is
he likes to show this to everyone.
I show everyone is the satisfying click when you close the door. It just feels good. It feels great.
It seals really, really
Seals
well.
really well. So here we go.
All right, so there's a lot to show you in here. We're going to show you every single little detail. And we've got both of us in here so you can kind of get an idea of the scale and the size of the space. But we can start with something that I really like, which is both of the tables are on this like sliding rail here. So this might look really cramped and tiny, but it's actually not at all. If you need space to get in there, you just slide this on the rail, you get in, and then you can just slide it back if you're gonna have someone else sit there. Do you wanna join me? So now you can comfortably fit 2 people. You can eat here, you can work here.
And speaking of eating here, lately I've been bringing this little GSI outdoors camping toaster on a lot of my trips. Most mornings I use it outside, but when the weather turns rainy, like it did while I was in Oregon, having a trailer where you can make a simple breakfast indoors is pretty nice. Not to mention, wait until you see the second larger table. The GSI toaster packs flat, weighs next to nothing, and works with a variety of camp stoves to make toast. Just make sure you've got good ventilation and use common sense anytime you're cooking inside. You can find the GSI toaster at eattrailer.com, linked in the description below.
You just take off your little pole that fits in there. You clip it on here, and then you lift this off. And then there's 2 little rails down here. And then you pull your cushions down. I can comfortably sleep here, or like a kid or even 2 of our kids could probably sleep on this if they're
I
small.
could also sleep on there.
It makes also a really great spot to just lounge with your morning coffee. You can have the window open, and then here's where I can show you how the screen works. After you've opened up your window, you can pull up the screen to keep all the bugs out. And then if you want privacy at another time of the day, you can just pull this down and you've got full privacy.
It's a reflector on the other side, so as if you're in the blaring sun, it'll
keep it cool in here.
keep it cooler in here.
We got blackout curtains that just slide on the tracks, so you can get full privacy. And you can still have the screen, you can still have airflow, but block out the light. All like 360 around the camper. We've got some upper overhead storage here. This has got like a 2.5-inch lip, so stuff won't fall out when you're driving. This one's got a nice door, secure door. We've got a lot of cooking essentials up here. You can fit a lot more than we have there now. It's also great for pretty things. LED strips all under the cabinets here, but they're all controlled individually, so you can have just one on, none on, or all 3 at the same time. There's another one over here. They are LEDs, so they're energy efficient. They're running off your Goal Zero power station.
And we also have, on either side, we have 110 outlets and USB outlets. So USB-C and USB-A. And on this side, we included a 12-volt jack. And for us, we have found that if you're in a very cold situation, you just take your 12-volt heated blanket and you connect it here and you put it within your wool blankets and you'll be nice and toasty, even though it could be chilly out there.
A little kitchenette with the essentials. We've got a Dometic sink with a little 12-volt pump. So it also closes to give you more counter space.
For our water tank, we decided to take a page from the camper van crowd and we went simple and reliable.
With our past work on campers, one of the problems we would come across is, when there's a built-in tank, they can get really, really nasty. There's a lot of maintenance. When you have a built-in tank, they actually can be very hard to get to. They can get like moldy and mildewy and like algae, green. We've seen green tanks. We wanted something that was very simple and easy to maintain. You'll have it under here with your little 12-volt water pump in there. Or you could take this out and use it on your table outside. It's got a little spigot on there. There's no winterization. There's no weird pipes and lines that get green over the years, which we've seen a lot of. Just also more place to store things in here. We've got our trash bags and cleaning supplies, drying rack. We've got a little trash can. And next to it is our Dometic fridge. It's got a surprising amount of space. This is a freezer, which you can actually remove the freezer if you don't want that in there and you want more space for other stuff. So this is a big closet. You could use it for whatever you want. You might want to put like a drawer system in here if you want. This was something we added, just a little extra storage. Down here is just more storage. We've got some pots and pans and other miscellaneous things in here. And then underneath all the seating, so underneath there's these 2 benches here. That's also all big storage compartments. Here we have our double bed. My husband and I can comfortably sleep on this. It's just slightly narrower than a double, like a full-size bed. And then it's got windows on all sides here. So you've got like a 270-degree view of whatever scenery you're parked in, which is pretty cool. Right now we're looking out at a lake right behind us. You can just sit here and you feel like you're outside, and you're actually, if it's raining, you can still have this open because this protects you from any rain getting on you, so you really feel like you're outside. But yeah, we can show you how we set it up and turn it into a table. My husband would choose to have 0 throw pillows, but you know, they have their purpose. So the bedding, we'll throw it in the closet. You just slide them back and they fit snugly, which I actually really like because it means they don't move around a ton. And then you've got your table down here that just lifts up onto this rail. It's got a lot of space. And again, I love this feature. 4 adults can sit here and eat a meal together if they wanted to. The pop top, so with this open, 6'1", someone who's 6'1" can stand up in here. And to bring it up and down, it's really simple. You just kind of wiggle it down. You want to make sure your screen comes in. And we're actually going to change the material on this for our future iterations of the camper. But for this first model, this is what we got, but it'll be different. But yeah, you just pull it in and then you just clamp this down. So like I'm 5'6" and I don't touch at all. I probably have 2 inches above my head. So if it was just me in here or me and another short person, we don't even need this up to walk around.
So you might be wondering how heavy our Classica is, and it's actually a little under 1,200 pounds, including our battery system. So this is very easy to tow with a standard SUV, maybe a Subaru Outback or a CRV. It's actually very easy to tow. You might not even notice it back there as you're driving.
Cons. The rear dinette is spacious, but the front seating area feels a little cramped, partly because the modern double-pane window frames take up some of the available room. Personally, I'd probably leave it in sofa mode most of the time and use a telescoping chair when I wanted to work at the table. Low countertop. Not an issue on a weekend trip, but after 7 days, I definitely noticed the extra bending. They could raise the countertop, but then you'd lose some of the open feel. That's the trade-off. Limited power. For weekend campers, it's fine, but heavy power users may want more capacity. I'd love to see an interior power input so you could easily connect a second portable power station and chase the sun with it when needed. Pros. After spending 7 days in this camper, I'd buy one. I slept better in this trailer than any stand-up camper I've taken out. The new cushions make a huge difference compared to most vintage trailers still running decade-old foam, and overall the functionality was exactly what I hoped it would be. Simple kitchen. For a guy who doesn't usually like indoor sinks, I actually use this one quite a bit. And I like that there's no built-in stove. That gives you more counter space, more storage below, and the flexibility to use your own stove inside or outside. Imported trailers usually get expensive fast because of shipping and tariffs, but I think the Classica is priced very competitively for what you're getting.
The Classica is priced at $28,500, and that includes everything we showed you today. There's no extra add-ons or other things that will surprise you and get that dollar amount up. We really wanted it to be at a price point that was accessible so that lots of people can experience everything the Classica can offer. And we do have stock available now. There, you can order them on our website. After this stock is sold, it'll be about a 3-month wait as we build more, because we build these in small batches. It's not a mass-produced thing.
If you want something similar but smaller and lighter, check out my Meerkat review on the left. If you'd rather have something larger and more conventional, I've also reviewed the Casita on the right. All 3 take very different approaches, so I'd encourage you to check out both reviews before making up your mind.